I want to talk to you about should we be banning fake Han in schools? Well, I'm gonna say no. Age provided. It doesn't matter what colour your skin is in high school, as long as you knuckle down, work hard, do what the teacher asks of you, do your homework, and apply yourself that way. And I know a lot of people will actually go, yes, but school is a place for learning, for education. Let me explain. School is roughly about 50-50. 50% work and 50% making friends and relating to kids, and you have a break and a lunch time, and this is every single day. So children are going to mix with each other. Children, one way or the other, need to learn how to get on, and I believe, because when you have like a little bit of makeup on or a fake Han on high school, I think that's okay. I don't agree with it in definitely not in first schools, and definitely not in middle schools. I think in my own head, I want to keep children for as long as possible, because I'd actually go when you are 13 plus and in high school. Then I think it is more appropriate. And people, when I hear this being discussed on Loose Women or this morning, people talk about, yes, but teenagers go through a spotty phase and they need like layers of foundation to cover it, or bags underneath their eyes. What they really need is a good night's sleep and a couple of clever silk pads. And I will tell you why. No, I will tell you the main reason kids want fake Han and makeup. It's to feel grown up, because they are not a child. It's a teenage phase. You've gone through, or they've gone through their 10s, 11, 12s, and when they are 13, that is when they officially become a teenager. And I know that I did things as a teenager. I was 15 when I first dyed my hair. Little things like that. I might have been about 16 when I had my ears pierced. You know, just little things like that that mean the world to teenagers, because it gives them, I mean, I remember when my sister first had her ears pierced, she was walking around the house with a massive grin on her face because she looked good, and I knew that she looked good and I was happy for her. But I honestly do believe that there are different ages who enjoy different kinds of privileges. I mean, I thought at 16, right, my parents cannot tell me what to do anymore. Yes, unfortunately they could until I was 18. But even then they never saw me as an adult. Because when someone is just 18, that means they can legally drink and do all sorts of crazy things under the influence of alcohol. Anyway, back to my point. And in fake and in schools. No, not high school. Yes, I think you can ban it in middle school, but high school, no, I don't think so, because you know, it's all about the girls and how they feel about themselves and how attractive and how, you know, I mean, it's just little small stuff. So, and also, people actually like you. Yes, they can like you based on your personality. Don't get me, don't get me wrong. Or when you have a little bit of makeup on, or you have a spray tan, it enhances confidence. This is the main thing. It enhances confidence. And what is wrong with a little bit of confidence? Not the kind of confidence that answers teachers back, not the kind of confidence that you mess about and you don't listen in lessons. When I think about school, I can't tell you a specific lesson that comes to mind that is the best. Or no, that's not what I mean. What I mean is, when you ask anybody what their school years were like, they're not gonna talk about lessons. Usually they don't. Strangely enough, they talk about kids, how they were treated, and you know, if anything funny happened, you know, and something that actually directly involved me was I was chewing gum. Now, of course, you're not supposed to, and I thought, oh yes, I best get rid of it, and I just thought, there's the bin, and I just took it out and threw it towards the bin, missed it, and in walks the teacher with a pile of books, treads on it. All the class is laughing at this point, and then I'm like, you know, trying not to laugh, but that makes me laugh even Or, and then when I next look up, he's crying, and I repeat the word crying to get it off his shoe. The class is still laughing, and then he comes to me and he sticks his face so close to me and goes, ho, 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 as if to say very funny, but that just made me laugh more. So, that's, if you ask me what happened in schools, these are the sorts of answers I'd give back. Yes, I enjoyed art and I enjoyed English. Sometimes I liked PE. Not all the time. But when you talk about school years, you know who's in the popular crowd. You know whether you've made it in there or not. And, it was like, this was the one time I was walking past the popular crowd, and I can't remember what I was doing now. I think it must have been a lunch time, and this lad decides to throw a hula hoop at me. Now, it was designed to be a prank, lads, they mess about, don't they? And he threw it, I saw it, caught it, hate it, and I did that. And I think he wasn't expecting that reaction at all. He might have been expecting me to go in a strap or a sulk, but because I did that, he just burst out laughing, and he found that absolutely hilarious. So, I sort of was accepted, but then I sort of wasn't at the same time. It was like 70% liked me and wanted me in there, but then there was another percentage that really didn't. And as much as I enjoyed the experience, I never wanted to be anywhere where I wasn't made to feel welcome. So that was my thought process. Yes, we can all say school is a place for learning and the education and be focused on the work, but do you really want to be that individual who sits and eats lunch at her desk doing work when all of her mates or other schoolmates are outside, guys are playing football and all this business, when you're in there doing work because it's better than wandering around the school with absolutely nothing to do because everybody has found their groups that they fit into. For me, yes, I got on with people, and I did actually get a call to go down to the park late one evening, but my mum was very strict, and she's like, that don't sound good this time of night. Kids want my daughter down the park, what could they head up to? And at the time I said, well, we go on the swings, we do, and then they're like, no. So I didn't get to on a couple of things that they wanted me on, but I think that was down to my parents putting me first in terms of safety. So I was never one of those kids dying on the grass of alcohol poisoning. Yeah, I was tucked up in a nice warm bed. For me, I was always active in school. I always liked to be doing something. When I was younger, I was gymnast. I won awards at swimming and things like that. And then when I heard that there was a dance club going in a lunch time, I immediately joined up. And when I was getting closer to a particular boy, because he liked women, he came and watch us all dance. And this one time, I mean, all the girls were itchy and me in their own way, and I just grinned and aired it and put up with it. And then this one day we fell onto the crash mat together. He was laughing, and and I thought that was amazing, the fact that I was on a crash mat with a boy who I liked and who also liked me. But that particular day, the girls were so horrible to me, even more so than normal. They ignored me every time I spoke, or I tried to talk to them, or a suggestion or anything. Basically, they excluded me, and in very subtle ways they told me exactly what they thought of me. And then I left the dance group and I never returned. Or if I didn't care actually about being liked and fitting in, then I'd have actually gone, no, I don't care, I'm gonna get close to this boy whether you like it or not. But see, the thing is, I was never competitive. I wasn't very much dominant. I was never a go-getter. So yeah, I never pursued him, and therefore he didn't pursue me in the end. But I just thought that he actually really did like me. He always compared me to my looks to Britney Spears when she first came out. He admired me for my gymnastic abilities. He always told me I was sexy, and I suppose popular Ellis girls would have, in some way put an end to it, because this particular lad, everybody really actually liked. I heard that he had been out with some girls in higher years of the school, and at times, like, you know, in break times and things like that, I think I'd hear he actually is a good kisser, and, you know, and things like that. And I mean, I wouldn't know, because, you know, we never got that far, we never ever did anything. And you know, and at school, I mean, I would say my heart was always broken, because I really liked him, and I'd watch him with other girls, and I'd think, how come they get to go out with him and kiss him, even when I tried to get over him and think of, you know, or hopefully there might have been another boyfriend, but no, I never got an actual boyfriend until I was after school. I was going to say 16 then, but that's not true, because I had my first kiss at 16, and the first time I ever got a boyfriend was actually after school, because all the boys actually were like too embarrassed to actually do anything about it. I mean, I remember this one lad, he'd actually gone out, bought me a Christmas card. He couldn't even give it to me himself. He did it without his peers. He tossed it in the air. I picked it up, and it was a Christmas card of him. You know, and I'm just thinking, why can't you? I don't know, I was just always baffled that nobody actually asked me out. Or, you know, 33 and I'm married, you know, I'm okay about it. But at the time, I used to be very upset, because I just didn't fit in. Had I have had a fake tan, had I have had a bit of makeup on, which I eventually did, I had no confidence, and I think that's the main thing, especially in high school, especially when boys are looking at you, and you know, and all your mates are going out with people. I used to watch two mates snog each other's faces off around science lab. I used to watch one of my best friends actually. He snogged the face of this guy who actually liked me in the first place. Anyway, and even this one day, I was actually talking to this girl, and she wanted to help me. You know, she wanted to help me get a bit of confidence and all this business. So she came into school with a skirt and some heels. Now, I thought, great, this is fantastic. But hang on a minute, how do you walk in killer heels? At this point, she'd gone, because she obviously had friends to talk to, whatever else. And I was left in these heels, and I was scared. I didn't feel sexy. I was sort of like this. I was a bit like Ampy on ice, taking the tiniest steps possible. The plan was actually come down and walk around the football pitch. Well, there's no way that was happening because I couldn't even walk in them, and a teacher found me, saw how uncomfortable I was, and I actually asked for my clothes back. But anyway, after that was a disaster, I then had this girl constantly putting makeup on me, and this was great. This was fantastic. This guy that I really actually liked, when this girl was doing it, was telling me I was beautiful, I was amazing, you know, and I'm thinking, oh, you know, I love all these compliments. And but more so than anything else, he actually gave me confidence, and I never had that before. So, you know, for that, I'll be forever grateful to him for. But, and let's just put it this away. If you don't try at school, if you ignore the teachers, if you are disruptive, if you never take the time to do homework, you don't do coursework, you don't study, you're not gonna get the grades you actually want. So it's got nothing to do with having fake tan on. Fake tan and a little bit of makeup is just helpful for girls to gain confidence. And speaking from experience, it is important because you need to feel accepted and even liked by boys. It's just the natural order of stuff. Roughly about 13 plus is usually when, you know, boys and girls start having feelings for each other, who actually are interested in each other. Because do you really want to know what it was like for me at school? Because it wasn't always good. I mean, yes, I can recall funny times and things like that, but I didn't feel that I always had a good time. I was very much alone, on my own, and I never got any of the boys that I actually really liked. So had I have had a bit of confidence, or a fake tan, or a little bit of makeup on, which I think I eventually did, but I just want to stress it out when all your mates have makeup on, and you know, and they look amazing and you don't, then it's kind of a bit intimidating in one sense, Or I think it also makes you want to make the best of yourself and take care of yourself too. I actually did go on a couple of parties. This was when I was in the sixth form, and one of the first parties I went to, this lad was there, and I'd changed my mind what I was originally going to wear, and I'd put on this purple lilac halter-neck top. I had a short skirt on, heels, not all the way up here, but just nice heels, and at the back of the top it crisscrossed anyway, and I had my sister straightening my hair. I did a bit of makeup on, and then and I remember this girl coming up to me telling me, I thought you was going to wear a different outfit. And then I says, oh, I changed my mind. But you should have seen the look of hurt in her eyes, because she liked the same boy as me, and it didn't make me feel good. And I actually had the most amazing compliment of him I'd ever gotten. He told me at that moment in time that I was beautiful inside and out, and if anybody told me differently, that he would go and he would beat them up. And I just thought, that is the sweetest thing he has ever said to me. And yes, so little things like that as a young girl mean a lot. So it might not seem right to some people, but fitting in and creating bonds with boys and having friends at school is exactly what school is all about. You know, it is, to be honest, because if you don't have friends, you're going to have a very lonely time at school. Take it from someone who actually knows. But I'm also a fan of working hard and knuckling down and getting things done and applying your serious side to coursework, homework, or whatever else that the teacher actually sets you. The only people who are in trouble is usually people who are in 5 for everything, because these are the people who just don't take nothing seriously. They mess about, they disrupt the class, they do a lot of things like that. And I actually do remember what it was like in set 5, because when I moved from middle to high, they actually put me in sets lower than I should have been, and the minute I took tests, I can't remember what they're called now, but the minute I actually did, I got upped in maths, French. I got up to, in history, RE, and I was mostly in set 3 for everything. And back then, you actually had to work for the grades. You actually can't. I don't know what it is, but I think these days they tend to give out A's and P's quite easily. I'm sorry to admit that, but back when I was at school, you really had to work for your grades. I remember, and this was a girl next door to me, and she was the same age as me, and of course I studied hard, and I did as much as I could, but this girl, she never came out, she never did nothing with me at all. It was waking up, working, food, working again and again and again and again, and I'm thinking this is ridiculous. But guess what? She actually got A's and A stars, so she worked for that. But although I was educated and I did do really well, but I wasn't university. I didn't think that I was university realised, because it's studying and working and all this business. But even in uni, there is another side to just working. It's parties, going out, getting drunk, and my cousin did this too much, and she didn't get the grades that she really wanted. So part and parcel, 50% work, 50% going out, having a good time, and things like that. But even though it is good to be popular, even though it is good to be liked or whatever else, you do have to work too. So I'm never gonna dismiss the fact that you should play about. No, I'm not going to say you should play about. I'm not going to say any of that. But I do believe that you put in what you actually get out of it. I honestly do, because fake tan and a little bit of makeup isn't the issue here. It's the way you look at things, and if you take your work, your coursework seriously, and you actually do it, and you don't spend all your life pissing about, because it is important for you. It is important, and yes, and that is what I want to say, because it doesn't matter on the colour of your skin as long as you do the work. And I will also say, hold firm to that. I don't think that this applies in middle schools. I think from the age of 13 plus that it's all okay.